one of the issues people ask us is by giving out information on your rights and how to invoke your rights, are you encouraging people to break the law? Some people have gone so far as to say that this may be unethical and that we are hurting people's ability to prosecute or catch criminals. And to that, I have to be able to give you a bit of a backstory and an explanation as to why there couldn't be further from the truth. Now, imagine you are hired. You're a lawyer, and you are hired by a loved one to get somebody out of jail. Your spouse, your brother, someone gets arrested. Okay, so you're the lawyer, and you, at that point, head down to the jail to find out that he's currently being questioned by the police. And so he doesn't know that he's got a lawyer, and so you try to explain to the police officers, look, I'm his lawyer, his sister hired me, and he doesn't know I'm here. I just want to talk to him and find out what happened. And they tell you they can't do that. So you say, okay, let me see this. Can you please, can I talk to your supervisor or your sergeant? And they say, no, I don't have the power to let you talk to my sergeant. Okay, well, but again, I am his lawyer. I've been hired. I need to talk to him. It's an emergency right now. And so at this point, I just say, fine. I hang up the phone. I'm going to race downtown and meet with my client in jail. I see someone at the jail, and assuming I can find my client, because oftentimes he's off the grid. If he's being questioned, he may be in an interview room somewhere, and no one knows where he's at. But if I find him, I'm told I can't see him. And then I say, well, fine, just tell my client that I'm here and his lawyer wants to talk to him, and they politely decline my request. So I say, okay, fine. I'm a lawyer, and I've been to law school, and I know there's a Fifth Amendment right to counsel, and I know there's a Sixth Amendment right to counsel, and I want to be able to invoke his right to counsel. And so with all the power and the authority of the law, I demand that you let me see him. And basically, there's nothing I can do. Because at this point, none of his rights necessarily attach unless he asks for them. And so when we talk to civil lawyers and when we are asked by civil lawyers, okay, well, you do criminal law, and is that ethical, and what do you do? I propose the following. In civil litigation, so if you're suing one corporation over another for an insurance policy, or it's a personal injury case involving an accident, in civil litigation, what if your client dealt directly with the opposing counsel? Okay? What if the opposing counsel was allowed to lie to that person as well? And what if the opposing counsel encouraged that person to be able to cooperate with them to be able to resolve the case? And furthermore, the law actually allows them to lie that the cooperation is in their best interest. Okay? And basically, the opposing counsel gets to insinuate that the whole case and the whole matter can be resolved if you just trust me with this simple conversation, but knowing full well that they're lying. Okay? And your client then at that point doesn't know his rights and doesn't want to do anything wrong. He's not lying. He just wants to make this situation go away, but he's being coaxed into making harmful admissions and saying things he's not supposed to, and it's all under the guise of making himself feel better that he is doing the right thing. Now, furthermore, what if in civil litigation, there's boxes and there's thousands of documents that you go over in depositions, but what if the rules were changed so that the plaintiff gets to do whatever they want? They get to take depositions, they get to ask you whatever questions they want, they can see all your documents, they can go through your paper, they can go through your home, they can go through your car. And after they finish, they might do that for a week, a day, 6 months. After they finish, well, then you can hire a lawyer. And then you can start to defend your case after we're done with everything. After we've asked every single question. After we've made sure that our case is airtight and there's nothing else you can do about it. Then you get your defense lawyer. Well, effectively, this is how every single one of our cases begins. Because if our clients don't know their rights and don't have a lawyer, and if good people, this is the problem, if good people who have never been in trouble before, and who are taught to trust the police, and who are taught to tell the truth, and who are taught to cooperate because it's in your best interest, what if these are the very people that get hurt the worst in the system? How do you help? Because by the time I get involved, it's too late. Everything's already been forfeited. There's no right left. So the analogies I can be able to make in other areas of the law, which not only is it ethical to do, but it is your duty. You are required to do so, or you are at that point subject to malpractice. Say, for example, the ethics. Is it ethical for a business lawyer to structure a merger for the benefit of his client over the other party? Is it ethical for an employment lawyer who works for a company to write regulations that protect the company? Is it ethical for an IP lawyer, an intellectual property lawyer, to do what's necessary to protect their intellectual property rights? Is it ethical for tax lawyers to instruct their clients how to save money on taxes? Is it ethical for a lawyer to advise a client to file bankruptcy when they know it may result in avoiding financial liability? Is it ethical for a family lawyer, maybe Britney Spears' family lawyer, to advise her to engage in a prenuptial agreement to protect her client's assets? Not only is it ethical, but that's the lawyer's duty. And so when we're asked to be able to tell people about their constitutional rights, it is not a technicality. It is not a trick. It is nothing else that we're trying to do to avoid responsibility. It's merely to create a level playing field, because everybody else on every side of the table knows what their rights and obligations are, except the good people that we represent who've never been told what their rights are because they never had to know because they've never been in court. As criminal practitioners, we don't get the opportunities to be at the scene when the questions are being asked. As criminal defense lawyers, we don't get to be involved at the beginning of the dispute. We only pick it up at the end. This is our opportunity. This is how we fulfill our duty.